Hey, what's the story? Yours truly, Phil here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks a million for stopping by, really and truly. If you fancy subscribing, if you like what you see in here, if you're a big movie fan, think about subscribing. There's a lot of fun on the way. Halloween, spooky season's en route. 31 days in October. 31 films reviewed. How about a big awesome review every day with a recommendation for your Halloween viewing? If that sounds like something you'd like, think about subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, like it. Sound good? Cool beans. Thanks again. Really appreciate you stopping by. Now today, I just finished watching this again about 20 minutes ago, and the blood is only starting to rejoin my face. I'm talking about 1992's Man Bites Dog. This film was a passion project directed by Remy Bellevue, Andre Bonzel, and Benoit Pouleveau. Not bad. And these three guys, they not only star in the film, they absolutely did everything. They wrote the film, they produced the film, they directed the film, they did the cinematography, they did the edit. I mean, you name it, from like A to Z. These three guys, Remy, Andre, and Benoit, absolutely handled this film from A to Z, and that instantly demands respect. Now, this was done on a budget of 1 million Belgium francs, which is the equivalent, to put it into perspective, 33 grand. $33,000 is all they had to make this film, which is fucking peanuts. Nowadays on a film shoot, the fucking guy who locks up the studio at night is on fucking 33 grand a year. You know what I mean? This was shoestring in the grand scheme of things with movies. This is practically like having nothing at all. I know it sounds crazy, but in the grand scheme of things, having that as your budget. Think about it like this. John Carpenter's Halloween in 1978 had a budget of $300,000. Nearly $500,000, $300,000. And that film was horrifically, there's nothing horrific about Halloween. That film was completely shoestring as well. Simple effects, simple music, simple the cinematography and everything. But that was 300,000. Now they made Man Bites Dog with 33 grand. Absolutely an incredible achievement. So let's get into it. Man Bites Dog is a 1992 French language, so it's in French, subtitled, of course, but it's a Belgian film, and it's a black comedy and a crime mockumentary. See, the guys Remy and Andre play a film crew who follow around Ben, played by Benoit. They all just have their own names in the film. And the film follows a crew of these filmmakers following Ben, a serial killer, recording his horrific crimes for a documentary that they're producing. And at first, they're iffy about what they're watching and what they're filming and what they're seeing Ben do. And then they find themselves increasingly getting caught up in the chaos and the violence that comes with Ben. So eventually they start becoming accomplices of Ben. Now, let me talk about the character of Ben for a second. Played by Benoit Pouleveau. We'll call him just Benoit. The surname is difficult. I do apologize. Let's talk about Ben for a minute. The film's in black and white as well, by the way. And it's French speaking. And we get introduced to possibly the quickest kill in the history of fucking motion pictures. The film is literally on, and you're literally like, kill. First kill. Like that. Done. And it's not just a gunshot. It's not just someone getting popped. It's a kill. It's a strangulation. It's a fucking gnarly fucking kill. And you literally have barely been able to blink to that the film is turned on, and we've one kill. So that sets the tone for the entire movie. And you see Ben commit the kill, strangling a lady, and the film crew getting up close and personal, filming it. And Ben is witty and charismatic, but he's also narcissistic and hopelessly psychotic. He speaks so casually and so calmly when he's committing these kills, to the point of fucking hilarity. Like, it's nothing. He is soulless. He's evil beyond all recognition. And the film crew basically joins him on these sadistic adventures of him, like a fly on the wall type of, documentary. And Ben brings the film crew to meet his family, and he talks dearly about his mother, and he loves his father, and they meet friends. But in between these meetings, there's bursts of crazy fucking violence, man. It's kills. 5 or 6 quick one shot, 1 second, one shot kill shots, mixed into this getting to know Ben, and getting to know his daily routine as a serial killer. So that's the premise, and that's what we're strapping ourselves in for, guys. Now, as the film goes on, as I mentioned before, the film crew starts off kind of apprehensive of what they're dealing with here, but they're passionate about their project, and Ben is hopelessly charming to them, offering to pay for the budget if it gets too hard. In some of his kills, he finds money in the houses, and he goes, "Go on in, take the money, put it towards the budget. I know it helps. I know it helps." And they're like, "Oh, thank you so much, Ben. Thank you." And he's like, "Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. I just want to help. I just want to help." But while he's saying that, he's got his fucking hand on a pillow, smothering a kid. What the fuck? Film is insane. Absolutely insane. So, I'm not going to get into any spoilers. I'm not going to dissect the whole thing for you. But I'll tell you something for nothing. After just watching it again, it doesn't quite hit as hard as it did when I saw it in the 90s. Quentin Tarantino absolutely adores this film. He had Benoit join him on the jury at Cannes the following year after Reservoir Dogs. He just loved he actually got him on the jury to judge the film at Cannes. He absolutely champions Man Bites Dog. Absolutely. And to be honest, so do I. I've always thought this film was extremely unique, extremely darkly funny. I mean, there are some scenes, and even just watching it now, it even comes across funnier. Now, you would watch this and go, "Phil, are you actually insane? Why would you think that's funny?" But it's a dark comedy. It's a jet black comedy. So go in knowing that. I find it tongue in cheek. People who aren't used to intense, violent movies like this would be uncomfortable and wouldn't want to watch it. But if you take it in the style that it's a mockumentary, a dark comedy crime mockumentary. I mean, the idea is that the violence and the kills are so frequent and over the top, to the point where it's like, this is ridiculous. Like, what are we, like, on 100 kills? Like, are we on like 100 kills? Like, we're 40 minutes in. This is ridiculous, but hilarious. The character of Ben. He wears a suit. He loves poetry. He loves classical music. He plays music with his girlfriend Valerie. He loves mussels. He goes to restaurants, and he shares all these things with the film crew. But then he knocks on a door, So yeah, how's it going? We after this we get some mussels and we get some chips, and we'll head out. No lady answers the door. Oh, hello, my sweetheart. We're just here seeing about loneliness on upper tier um, uh, blocks of flats here in the neighborhood, and we just want to. We have a film crew here. Here's the team. Yeah, here's the team, and we just want to come in and ask you some questions about loneliness. And she's like, "Oh yeah, no problem, as long as it doesn't take long." So he sits down, and he starts to chat with the lady. So charming, like it's the whole serial killers being charming thing really feeds into the reality of psychopaths. You've seen your true life documentaries. You've seen the Ted Bundys, the good looking guy who will absolutely charm you to within an inch of your life, have you lower your guard just so he can. When Ted Bundy, um, Jeffrey Dahmer, uh, the whole thing is luring. Well, Jeffrey Dahmer just fucking drugged the fuck out of everyone and at their buttholes. When he goes to Five Guys, he's like, "This doesn't taste like Five Guys." Jeffrey Dahmer, huh? No, fucking unique fucking bastard. Jeffrey Dahmer is. I watched the TV show, right, on Netflix, like everyone else in the fucking world did, and do you know what it boils down to? He is just the saddest, loneliest. Like, he is the saddest, loneliest, most pathetic human being in the history, in the history of the universe. That is his. He needs. That is the fundamental reasoning for his actions. Making human zombies so he can have someone just to sit down with me, let's cuddle and watch a movie. I mean, it's so tragic. Like, the whole story is fucking tragic, but at the core of it all, pure evil, hopeless. I don't think they even considered him insane at the end. They found, like, but when you boil it all down, it's just he's the most tragic, saddest, most pathetic excuse for a human being in the history of this universe. That's why he's so unique in his fucking crimes. I mean, he's the saddest of the, like it's fucking beyond tragic. And fucking God help anyone involved with that horrible bastard in his life. But anyway, he used to fucking charm the blokes and fucking drug them and killed them. But the whole thing coming back to this, Ben does the exact same thing in Man Bites Dog. Hopelessly charming. You would never, ever expect him to be violent, to even raise his voice at you. And that's what's scary in the film. As time goes on, he starts to get a bit antsy with the film crew. He starts getting a bit sloppy with his kills. He kind of looks at them going, "Are you going to help on this one? That last one was a bit difficult. You could have helped." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't want to." And you can see the tension building as the film goes on of him growing, kind of like, "I'm giving you the money for your budget. I'm giving you all this footage for your epic masterpiece," and it's great tension between him and the film crew. And there's some twists and turns. I don't want to spoil it for you. I strongly recommend you watch this film. It's wild, it's fucking violent, and it's thoroughly entertaining. About 90 minutes long. As I said, the screenplay, the story, especially Remy Bellevue. Rest in peace, by the way, Remy Bellevue. He died in 2006. He took his own life, very sadly. He did the story, he produced it, he wrote it. Remy was the numero uno, and he plays the main interviewer and the main cameraman who kind of befriends Ben the most. And there's some wild scenes when he breaking into random houses, and he does not discriminate who he kills, and it does some very fucking funny scenes as well. and it looked great in the Blu-ray. Holy God. I had only ever seen it on DVD. I got it years ago, before 2003 when they took it off the shelves. But in modern day, 21 years later from the ban, it's not as over the top as I remember, but still, it is fucking strictly over 18s. There is anything fucked up you can think about a serial killer doing. He covers nearly all of it. But it's so darkly funny. It's got a great click. The character of Ben is iconic. He says poetry. He loves his food. He's so posh and so together. But oh wait, one of the lines at the start. He's like, "Oh, my favorite kill is a postman. I love to kill a postman at the start of the month." So he's walking down the road, having a cigarette, going, "Hey guys, this is my neighborhood, huh? Oh, look at the kids playing there. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look, they're playing with toy guns." And he takes the gun off the kid. He's like, "Oh, he's got a gun, like me. Oh, that's a cool little toy. Go and play, kids. Go and play." And it's like, "Aren't they cute? Yeah, go and play, kids." And he's like, "I like to kill a postman at the start of every month because they have the most money in the packages and they're delivering pensions to old people, which he robs. And he likes to rob old people the most and kill old people the most because they have the most money. There's no such thing as a poor old person in Ben's mind." So you get all his philosophies. The only mixed thing on it, I wouldn't call it a negative. The character of Ben goes on a bit. He is very much the center of the entire film, and some scenes are a little over the top with the charisma and the dialogue, because he is practically an entire film of mostly his dialogue, with in between scenes of absolutely intense violence. And it's not long prolonged kind of Saw 6 kind of torture tied to a chair kind of 10-minute puking in a bucket scene. No, they're quick, they're sharp, and they're shocking. Quick, sharp shocks. That's what this film gives you. Quick bursts of ultra violence. Malcolm McDowell, gotta love it. Clockwork Orange. But just watched it again. Really enjoyed it. Didn't shock as much as it did as as much as when I was a younger teenager. But I got to appreciate the comedy more. I didn't take it quite as seriously because an older head on older shoulders. With a kid, you're like, "Oh my God, I can't watch this. It's too much." But which some people even nowadays would still watch it and think, "No, this is too much. I'm turning this off." But I think it holds up well. The comedy is very dark, very funny. The performance from Ben in particular is absolutely standout, and the twists and turns and the ending, everything is and the look of him. He has the black suit and tie, very very Reservoir Dogs in his style of costume, and Ben's costume. And it's just a wild film. Quick 90 minutes. Granted, black and white subtitles, but I think it's worth the ride. So, taken away, I would say it's a solid 4 out of 5 for me. So, 4 stars out of 5 for 1992's Man Bites Dog. Be warned, this film contains extreme violence, sexual violence, violence against old people, violence against women, violence against children, violence, you name it. Ben does not discriminate in his fucking kills in this movie, and that's what made it so shocking back in the day. But remember, you're watching a film, it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. The idea that he's killing an old lady while talking about what he's going to have for dinner. Fucked up, yes. Darkly hilarious, definitely. So, hope you enjoyed this review. Hit like, hit subscribe. Have you seen Man Bites Dog? Did you think it was crazy? Did you think it was funny? Do you think I'm mental for finding this film even funny in the slightest? Drop the comments below. I want to know about it. Man Bites Dog has been a silent favourite of mine for a long time. Anytime I've mentioned it, they're like, what? Never heard of that. I'm like, why? It's wild. It's a wild film. And I really enjoyed this rewatch. And big shout out to Robbie Walsh as well. His film Split back in 2016 is basically like an Irish Man Bites Dog. Not to the same extreme, but do you know what? Close enough. Another great fucking film. Robbie Walsh, you the man. Irish film director. And the best, if you ask me. So, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe. And remember, mussels, chips, and gravy are also delicious after a kill.